I was born in Little Rock, Arkansas. When I was 2, we settled in Missouri, and I grew up there. Went to school there, have 3 brothers younger than myself. I didn't even know the word lesbian until I saw the Children's Hour in high school. In college, I went to a counselor and said, I think I'm homosexual. That was in 68 or 69. And my counselor said, oh, you don't want to be that. What do you really want to be when you grow up? And kind of took me in a different direction, and I thought, I went into the Army as a graduate, second lieutenant, and met a wonderful group of women who none of us were out, but we all drew together. And now, 50 years later, we find that at least 9 of our 12 are gay. I came to Door County in the 70s, but moved away in 81 to adopt a child, and then came back in 91 and have been there ever since. Decided to start PFLAG. So I just thought, well, this is kind of a safe organization because it's parents, families, and friends of lesbians and gays, so that seemed all-encompassing rather than a LGBT task force, or there was Northern Women in Green Bay at the time, and we went to those meetings, but they weren't really forming other groups. So I started out just as a representative, so I had a name in a directory and a post office box that people could write to. With that post office box, a young man wrote a letter, and I didn't even check the post office box on a regular basis, maybe every week or 2. So I checked it and got this letter from this young man who said he thought he was the only person in Door County who was gay and was considering suicide. And I called him immediately and started talking, and we set up a meeting. We decided to meet monthly and have ever since. I was also on the national PFLAG board for 6 years and was vice president of the national organization. I think my greatest accomplishment there was back in the early 2000s. We were trying to decide what legislation to support. And HRC didn't want to include trans in that kind of legislation. They thought that would slow things down or cause problems. And we decided, we wrote up the legislation statement that we wanted, and we got that passed. PFLAG has been, I think, was one of the first organizations to really support transgender back in that day. In 2016 or 17, Kathy Greer moved to Door County, and she said, where are all the gays? I said, well, they're around. So she said, we need a festival. She pulled together a wonderful pride. We started out as just a little picnic with kind of bring your own stuff, and it has grown. This past year was terrific. It was bigger than ever before, more people, more vendors wanting to participate. So it's been marvelous. I think in this day and age in particular, with so much being said against the LGBT population, it's even more important to provide safe spaces for people to celebrate who they are, The kids are wonderful. They come and they run around with flags or whatever dress they want, and there's such a wonderful feeling there of acceptance that it's necessary.